Hello, Guardians. My name is Legend of Excalion, and it's been a busy week to be a Guardian. We had the update 2.9.0.1, as well as the GCX event to raise money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital, which Bungie took part in. We also had the weekly Twab and some news that came from the GCX event. First off, I want to get into the update 2.9.0.1, which took place on Tuesday of this week, and the controller remapping fixed an issue where sprint would cancel if players pressed the sprint action multiple times. And basically, they made it to where sprint was just a toggle. It was an interesting change. I'm glad that they implemented this fix. Antaeus wards, they fixed that by removing the super energy bonus and increased the sprint time required to activate. As a Hunter main, I didn't really feel that this was super necessary, but I'm glad that Bungie's looking out for the community as a whole. And this is probably fine. This is fine. If it balances things, then that's great. Some other stuff, we had mod fixes, fixed an issue where Season of Arrivals mods were available to equip without players first unlocking them. I remember the beginning of the season, everybody thought that this was maybe a... they didn't necessarily think it was a glitch. They thought that it was a means to test out some of the mods. Either way, it was a nice little glitch while it lasted. I was able to use the Loosened Blade before purchasing it. I missed it the first day it was available. But nonetheless, that's one fix. They fixed an issue where the Breach Resonator Artifact Armor mod was not granting its benefits when equipped. Fixed an issue where the Guardian Angel Artifact Armor mod was not granting its benefits when equipped. Fixed an issue where the Volatile Conduction mod had the wrong buff text and icon while its perk was active. All these mod changes, these are all, good, decent fixes. Finishers, they fixed an issue where the Overhead Hill Crash finisher showed void energy even when other subclasses were equipped. They also fixed an issue where the Aerial Snapkick finisher showed void energy even when other subclasses were equipped. Moving on to activities. Fixed an issue where players were unable to progress the Season of Arrivals intro quest due to full inventory of Umberling Rooms. Fixed an issue where there were visible holes present in the EDZ terrain where the Seraph Towers were replaced in the Season of the Worthy. I don't know if you guys were able to go to the EDZ this week or if y'all saw this, but it was kind of funny, not gonna lie. And kind of glitchy too. You have to be careful walking around those. Nonetheless, good fix. Investment fixed an issue where Prime Engrams rewarded Hunter armor to Warlocks. If it's not Telesto, it's something else, right? While we understand Warlocks want to up their fashion game, capes are for Hunters or Lord Saladin. Fixed an issue where the bonus clan bounty would not gain progress from Grandmaster Nightfall completions. Removed the collections badge requirement from the Dredgen title. That was okay. I was surprised to see because they didn't release these patch notes prior to the update, and it wasn't until sometime after that we actually got these, and I was surprised whenever I logged on and I had the Dredgen title because, lo and behold, I actually didn't have all of the armor for my Warlock. I barely play on my Warlock, so that was a nice little surprise. And finally, fixed an issue where players were unable to visit the lighthouse when completing a flawless passage. As such, Trials of Osiris will be available once more June 19th, 2020, or today as of the time of this recording. Yeah, that was a problem. I believe we had at the beginning of Season of the Worthy as well. The first Trials week, I believe there was that issue. I might be wrong about that. It seemed accurate, but nonetheless... I'm happy they got it fixed at this point in time. It sucks that people actually ended up going flawless, and then they just missed out on all of that all those awesome rewards. I guess they got their 3, 5, and 7 win rewards, but they didn't get their flawless loot. They weren't able to turn in their tokens. That's one thing that kind of sucked. Whenever they disabled it, it also disabled the ability to turn in your tokens. It just kind of frustrating for some people. Nonetheless, error codes, they introduced a minor fix for beaver errors, and that was pretty much it for update 2.9.0.1. And moving on to the weekly TWAB for 6/18/2020, this week at Bungie, we're streaming for the kids. Hello there. If you're reading this right at the moment of publication, then congratulations. You've just hit the 100K benchmark for our slot, the GCX stream. Basically, they released the weekly Twab earlier on Thursday, on the 18th, as a reward for getting a certain requirement, the 100K benchmark requirement for the GCX stream. Moving on, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, let's break it down. Between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. PDT today, 6/18/2020, we're live on the GCX Marathon charity stream, raising funds for the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital to help support children in need. Your donations help families around the world by contributing to the research and the treatment of cancer. While you can take pride in the helping of donating a few dollars, we also have a variety of incentives to provide some additional motivations. And then it's a list. I'm going to skip the list of the incentives and stuff like that. Just some cool stuff. If you donated, you could get some emblems, get raffle for the Beyond Light Collector's Edition. It also shows the incentives for reaching community goals. It was just really good. It's a good thing, going to a great cause. If you didn't give, there's still a chance. You can do it right now. Go to Twitch, GCX stream. Bungie is actually live right now, I believe, with Miss 5000 Watts. And I believe Briar Rabbit. Go check them, watch it out. I think this is all for a good cause. If you haven't donated, this is your chance. And if you missed our live stream, no worries. The initiative is being supported by many in the gaming community. Jump in and check it out. Now, another patch in the pipe. This week has been a pretty active one in terms of patches. On Monday, a change was made to require players to re-queue for forges in hopes of removing idle players from the activity. Tuesday, we had some fixes go live for Energy and Umbral engrams, and today, hotfix 2.9.0.1 went live with fixes to sprint canceling, the lighthouse, and more, but we aren't done yet. Yeah, so it seems like next week we're actually going to have another update, and this is where they talk about it. Hotfix 2.9.0.2 is planned for next week. We're in the process of finishing up some testing passes, but here are a few things you can expect. Fixes targeting controller remapping. Issues where double tapping buttons sometimes does not trigger dodge or other abilities. Issues where weapons don't fire when pulling the trigger. Issues where storm trance would sometimes not function. Yikes. Just yikes. Those are some major issues. Fixes an issue where Witherhoard deals excessive amounts of damage to various bosses, which right now is a bug right now. It's not that Witherhoard's just doing crazy damage. It seems at some point it just deletes entire chunks of health altogether. Nonetheless, it'll be fixed next week. Fixes an issue where solo completion of the Prophecy Dungeon does not unlock the associated triumph. Fixes an issue where various reward sources are dropping at 750 power rather than the Guardian's power level. That hasn't happened to me yet, but several people in my clan have had that issue, and we were just commenting on it. They were actually telling me about it as I was reading this, and I didn't know that was a thing. Nonetheless, I'm glad they're fixing it. And they're fixing an issue where the Tommy's Matchbook Paddleless quest was removed from player inventory. We have a laundry list of other issues that the team is currently investigating. Our next update is planned for early July, so stay tuned for another patch note preview in the coming weeks. We'll have update 2.9.0.2 available sometime next week, probably weekly reset on Tuesday, though this one was done on Thursday the 18th. So we'll just have to see when that comes. Just stay tuned on Bungie's Twitter, Bungie Help Twitter for updates, and stay updated. Next, Beyond Light pre-order bonuses. Alongside Season of Arrivals, we announced Destiny 2 Beyond Light. At the kickoff, we saw some confusion on pre-order bonuses, so we'd like to take a moment to set the record straight. When pre-ordering Destiny 2 Beyond Light, players will be granted access to multiple in-game bonuses, all editions, exotic rhymed ghost shell, and a legendary emblem, the deluxe collector's edition exotic freeze tag emote. From my understanding, these will be available right now if you go to pre-order it. You can get these items from Master Rule, which says right here, these items are available at Master Raoul in the tower after you've placed your pre-order. If you pre-ordered the Collector's Edition through the Bungie store, a code for these pre-order incentives will be emailed to you within 24 to 48 hours. If you pre-ordered any edition through Xbox, please be sure to download Destiny 2 Beyond Light pre-order pack and Destiny 2 Beyond Light exotic emo packages prior to signing into Destiny. Pre-ordered items will not be available until this is installed. You may need to close the game application and relaunch if these items are not available after installing the above-mentioned packages. Destiny 2 Beyond Light should become available on PlayStation later today, June 18th. Stay tuned at Bungie Twitter for updates. For all information regarding Destiny 2 Beyond Light pre-orders, head over to this help article. Additionally, if you're having any issues pre-ordering through our partner platforms, be sure to contact their support resources as well. So yeah, guys, Beyond Light's coming, and the pre-orders are now live. I played mostly on PlayStation, so that's probably where I'll get my pre-order from. Guys, I'm excited. Beyond Light's going to be a big change for Destiny. And finally, just one last note. Another Destiny YouTuber, Imtashed, made a tweet earlier. It appears Redrex's broadsword is out of the loot pool and you can't get it from collections. One way to get more is to redo the quest, which may be impossible for some people. Can we get it back somehow at DMG and Cosmo? So yeah, you've noticed I've actually done a few Redrex's videos lately. I did one prior to 2.9.0 or season of Arrivals, and I also made one afterwards to see how the buff to high impacts went and affected it. Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured this would happen. Redrex's broadsword wasn't in the loot pool, so I just kind of assumed it. But it seems like maybe they're talking about adding it back in. Cosmo ended up commenting back on his post, working on it, and that's all it says. And myself, a lot of people liked that comment. Redrex is a great weapon. There's not a whole lot of high impact pulses in the game, and I mean, even if it doesn't come back with the random rolls, even if it just comes back with the curated rolls, it's still good for some people to be able to get it. I don't know. I was very fortunate to get what I consider a god roll. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So for some of you guys that maybe watched my other videos, just know it looks like it's going to come back. It doesn't appear that there's any window on that yet. But guys, that's pretty much going to do it for me. Tonight I just wanted to drop some news. I appreciate it. I've gotten a few more likes here lately. I've gotten quite a few views here lately, and that's by my standards, and I just appreciate it, guys. Continue to support the channel, subscribe, like the videos. Guys, thank you so much. This means a lot to me. This is a dream of mine. This is a game that I play with my kids. This is my favorite game to play, and it just means a lot to me. With that being said, guys, Godspeed.